Let's talk about something that could reshape the entire North American rail landscape. That's Union Pacific's proposed acquisition of Norfolk Southern. JOC has been all over this story. For listeners who aren't tracking it closely, what's the latest on the regulatory timeline?
I think we're looking in the next year or two. The application was rejected, and it's going to need to be resubmitted because there were some questions in terms of its completeness. For us, particularly heading into PPM, we're going to be hearing from Kenny Rocker of Union Pacific and others. And, the central question is, will this move the needle on attracting Eastern cargo to the West Coast because of this kind of transcontinental single connection, perfect steel wheel interchange? So we'll definitely be digging at that. But that's the fundamental question for international shippers.
Mark, which ports stand to gain or lose the most from a UP-NS merger? Are we looking at certain gateways becoming even more dominant for imported international freight then?
Well, I would say LA, Long Beach, and Tacoma and Seattle. However, just because there's efficiencies gained through that merger doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to translate into more competitive IPI pricing. So yeah, there may be a play there, but ultimately it's going to be the railroads in terms of how competitive they want to price West Coast moves.
Laurie, do you see this merger as anti-competitive? And if so, talk us through why. What would your specific concerns be?
I think I'll let the STB figure that one out. That part of the application process is making sure that the merger rises to the benefits for the public interest and that it doesn't diminish rail-to-rail competition. I'm not an expert, but I personally don't see how this is going to meet those criteria. Now, I think the STB has the ability to put conditions on any merger that's approved. So they might look at it and say, this doesn't quite meet all the tests, but if we put these criteria around it, which the rail would have to adhere to, then that could really, maybe keep the guardrails there. It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Are you worried that shippers might lose leverage when they're talking to the railroad if this goes through? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much leverage they ever had, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think they would lose leverage if they were a carload shipper. That's the bigger danger. If they're intermodal, not so much, because that's going through the container lines.